Welcome to the channel. My name is Matthias. Today we're going to talk about Excalibur issue 95 and X-Men issue 12. Now this is pretty much a Nate Gray driven story. We're coming off his confrontation with the Executioner. There he met Rogue, and Rogue sent him to Muir Island to help him because his powers were on the fritz. When both of these characters met, Rogue actually first sent him to Xavier, but X-Men told him, look, I had a brief confrontation with him. I don't trust the guy. That's why he ended up going to Muir Island. So what happens, we have X-Men. He has arrived on Muir Island. He's on the pier. And out of nowhere, we have Captain Britain. That during this time, he wasn't Captain Britain. It was sort of weird. Starts attacking him out of nowhere. Because it's the 90s, there was a lot of focus on action in these comic books. Because the thing is that X-Men was showing off zero hostility. The guy was just walking calmly on this pier. And we actually get all of Excalibur jumping into action. They actually defeat X-Men. Nate Gray wakes up in the infirmary where he meets Moira. Obviously, he's not very happy with the situation. Moira explains that all of Excalibur were sort of on a hair trigger because some superpowered being had attacked the British Parliament and now had went straight to Muir Island in Scotland to destroy it. It makes zero sense. I have no idea how these characters got to this conclusion. Obviously, it's just a very cheap explanation for the brief battle that we got at the beginning of the issue. I forgot to mention that the writer of this issue is John Ostrander. So what happens, we have Moira running tests on X-Men, and she discovers that his powers are actually consuming him. Nate actually thought he had contracted the legacy virus, but the thing is that Moira doesn't tell him that this is the case because she knows he's going to die before his 21st birthday. So what happens, we have Nate sort of hanging out with the members of Excalibur, especially with Wolfsbane. But what happens is Nate discovers that below Excalibur's base, they have like this prison. He's really not happy with the situation, especially when he finds another mutant in prison there. This character is Spore/Frenzy. I've seen the character called both ways. There he explains to X-Men that he's been unjustly imprisoned there and that they're running experiments on him. He was captured way back in the Fatal Attractions crossover. So this whole situation really takes X-Men back to when he was being experimented on by Mr. Sinister. He is freaking pissed off. He goes straight to Moira McTaggart. He wants explanations. He actually destroys half of Moira's lab. And the thing is, Moira tells him, look, peek into my mind. I'm not lying to you. She knows that once he does, he's going to find out that he's going to die young and that his powers are killing him. But looking into her mind isn't enough. And he actually peeks into the mind of all the members of Excalibur to make sure they're not lying. And he realizes what's the situation. And he just flies away. He leaves Excalibur alone.